Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Share the Tea Tuesdays, and it is your girl V. Hey, and I have some special guests. Of course, I got my co-host, Jakia. What's up,
I'm gonna do, I'm gonna, I'm gonna do like
Jakia?
the celebrities.
Oh, she. Oh, is that what we're doing now? She done changed it up on me. And then we also have a good friend of ours, Miss Kara. Hello, Kara. How are you today? Kara, pew, pew,
Buenas
pew.
noches.
Oh, now what am I gonna do with this?
Hello. I'm
Y'all are,
excited to be
y'all are hilarious.
on.
Well, welcome to Share the Tea Tuesdays, where we have, we talk about a variety of things, and so we know that you are bringing the heat today. And the topic is, from what I'm hearing, is imprinting. Did y'all hear that? Imprinting. Now, now I don't know exactly where we're gonna start, but I mean, where do we start? Do we start with what is imprint, or what you talking about? Are you just talking about the Twilight movie, or what is
You
imprint?
know, it could be okay. So let's first, because I had a busy 2 weeks, so I did not do work that I had been intending to do, so that I would have all of this stuff noted.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I would start with the definition of imprinting. Going as just using the example of what ducklings and geese do. When they're hatched, and the first seed that resembles a mother or a caretaker, they imprint like, okay, that's my forever. That's who care of me. Then we get into the movie. That was the first time I'd ever heard it, when Jacob was imprinting on the little baby on Des
Oh,
on
You
Bella's
remember
dog.
them
That was
names,
on the
girl?
last.
I know you remember them names.
Because I didn't remember
I
nobody's
remember that.
name.
Listen, I have a child that was very much into the Twilight series, and it drugged me into it as well. But that was the first time I'd ever really heard it, relating to that being you putting yourself on someone, and that being your forever, or even on Avatar, when they theirs was a little more, I guess, whatever their I don't know the word. What's the word I'm
They
looking
had it
for?
on Avatar.
Well, I don't think they used the word. It wasn't called imprinting, but it was basically where their two tools came together, and it was like, once that happened, that was your forever. That was meant to be your forever person. I guess maybe it was the equivalent of them having sex in Avatar. So maybe that's not the best example, but I do know I heard the word in Twilight. And from my understanding, he was supposed to then care for her for the rest of her life. That's who he was supposed to be with. That's who he was supposed to care for. And so, that was his, I guess, for lack of a better word, that was supposed to be his soulmate.
Okay.
Now, wait a minute. Now, in the movie for Twilight,
she was a baby. She was a little girl.
Jacob is,
but
werewolf,
remember, she was
right?
Jacob is a werewolf. Yes. Remember, he was had the hots for Bella too. Before, and she was a mortal, a human, I guess.
Right.
And then after she, well, I don't know what. Did he have any feelings for her after she?
Well, I guess that's what I'm trying to. I don't want to have.
Now I gotta go back and watch Twilight, because I don't remember. Now I'm intrigued all over again.
I know. Well, because I thought when he imprinted on the baby, that meant that I'm gonna care for you. Like, I didn't think it meant like that was who he was gonna be with. Am I looking at that right? Maybe I'm looking at it wrong.
Very end of it, and I'll be honest, I was not something books. I'm not a reader. I'm just a reader. That's not a fun time. But at the end of that, it showed a clip of them like standing like their future, and he was standing around her as an adult. Remember, she's going to age a lot faster than because she was a human, and
okay.
So she was going to age faster. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I guess that's your understanding. Okay. So in the real world, since we're going past Hollywood right now, what does that actually mean for us? Do we imprint on someone? Is that what your research is telling us when you discovered this? Do we actually imprint?
I think we can leave impressions.
We can leave them.
But if we can leave impressions on people, good or bad. But as far as if let's say if we're going with, Howard and Twilight, I believe we do as teenagers, and that's puppy love. And then, maybe the first real relationship we're in, as an adult, you feel like you've met your soulmate, but, if that doesn't work out, you still have an opportunity to meet someone else that may have been your true soulmate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's true. So, let's go back, because when we were in high school, we always had that crush,
I never had one of those.
I still got a crush on my high school crush.
Wait, hold on.
And everything.
Hold on a second. Let me press rewind. Did you say
you never what she said?
You never had a crush?
You
never had a crush in high school?
She ain't telling the truth.
The crush I had from middle school, I'll say all the way up until maybe a year ago. And a year ago, it was just someone I always had a crush on. And we were cool, but it was never that kind of situation. I'm not going to say I was shy, but I wasn't sure of myself, like in middle school and high school, and I'd be girl. And, so that was just not something. I didn't want to set myself up for failure. But I'm different now. But I told him, I revealed to him maybe a little over a year ago, but I don't have that crush anymore. But I was like, I'm just gonna tell him. I've had this crush on you since school, but I don't think he's my soulmate, at all.
Right.
I think somebody I thought was cute, and he was always very nice.
And he's still cute and nice after all these years. Girl, you said middle school. Oh my God.
Listen,
I've had my crush since middle school as well.
You too, Jakia?
And I still got a crush on him. I don't, and it's crazy because I don't think that we would ever end up together. My crush is not like, ooh, I want to date him, I want to be with him. But I just still, that's still my crush. That's still my boo.
Oh. Okay. Well, look at y'all. Well, my crush wasn't that. What she say? What she say?
Tisha said me too. She still got her crush. I'm just
remember
saying,
when we started, you were fine.
Right. It started when we were younger.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
But real quick, the way imprinting was explained to me by a guy, of course, is he said that it was basically that one person that I guess you never get out of your system. Like no matter what's going on, you can always double back to that person and you compare everybody else to that person. Like that person is, I guess you would say, the standard for how you judge and deal with everybody else.
So that person that made the greatest impression on you.
Right. That's kind of how I took it. Like that one person who just, did everything right in a sense. And so everybody that you date or that you deal with after that has to live up to that standard, has to live up to who that person is.
Wait a minute. Okay,
I'm not in a position to look it up, but could either one of y'all the actual definition of it? I think it'd be the second
imprint
definition.
Yeah, let me pull that up real quick.
Okay.
Because I guess the conversation comes down to what do you view imprinting as?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, while she's looking that up, I'm gonna say this little piece real quick. I'm gonna say a couple things because if you on Instagram, you're gonna have to catch the rest on YouTube. Go follow the rest on YouTube or Facebook, okay? Because it's about to get a little juicy, and get you something to drink and have a seat, okay? I'm just telling you. All right. So I guess my question would be, so if it's a standard, like, I mean, okay, let me start over. So because you had said something about being in high school or middle school, right? And that's usually where you get your first boyfriend or first girlfriend or crush or whatever. And so when you're that young, I mean, you're just kind of going with the flow, right? Mm-hmm. But okay, that could be your standard. Mm-hmm. But if it works out, and let's say by the time you get out of you into adulthood, and then you're wanting to explore something else, you mean to tell me your standard is going to be from the high school guy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. And I guess it would depend on, I guess it really just depends on how that particular person makes you feel. If that makes sense. Like if you're the if you're the one guy that I've dated that has done everything right, you know what I'm saying? Even if we didn't work out, I'm still gonna hold on to, I guess, all of the good things that happened in our relationship. Oh, he always, opened my door. He didn't mind paying when we went out to eat, or he did this or he did that, whatever the case may be. I guess that's what that would be, no matter when the relationship happened. I guess if that's the best relationship you've ever been in, I don't know. I mean, because I really don't know. I hadn't even really heard it until I was having this conversation with this guy. And I was like, okay, that's interesting.
But would you say that what you look for in a relationship kind of goes back to what you received or what you look for when you were being raised by your parents? Like, so for instance, like if I'm just gonna share this because I know my daddy don't care, but
your daddy gonna beat you.
But my dad always said, I'm raising you to be independent, and I want to make sure that you take care of yourself, and you don't have to ask no beep 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 for nothing. That was always what he said. So as far as like, and I'm talking about things like changing a tire, things that are not normally women stuff. And so in my mind, it was always that I had to make sure that I took care of what I needed to take care of, and I didn't have to rely on anyone else. And that was my standard of a guy, So I guess my question would be, because if we don't go off the first relationship from high school, he cheated within I can't even say he cheated because he already had a girlfriend when he hooked up with me, so it ain't really cheating. Yeah. So and that right there just left a bad taste in my mouth. Like, I can't trust you. I'm already trying to, and I'm only a freshman in high school, and I can't trust these guys, so I ain't got time to be playing with you. So to me, it's like if I look at, and he was not my crush. I'm gonna be honest. That crush that I had in high school, it was a really, really handsome guy. And I just thought, oh, he's really handsome. I only spoke to him and his brother, but I was really cool with his brother, but not with him. Isn't that cool? Isn't that weird? But anyways, so it's just like I couldn't really say that would be a standard for me, but I guess every relationship is kind of different. So,
well, I don't know. I guess I would say not necessarily the first relationship you've had, but the best one. Because I feel like it would be, the best one, the person you think about and smack.
These are the person you think about and smack.
Because some of your exes you think about and you be like,
yeah. I mean, and if the person you think about and smile, King Jesus, then hey, that's who
King Jesus.
He left an imprint.
Can't nobody do me like the Lord.
Nobody.
Can't nobody.
No, you're right. You're right. But I guess I never thought about it in that sense. But it could work for different people because I met quite a few people who they started dating when they were 17, 18 years old, and they've been together since.
All that time, yeah.
And I'm like, my Lord, y'all didn't pretty much grew up together. But that's a unique situation. I mean, you don't really see that a lot. So, did you find the definition that she was?
So, the definition that I found says, so the question was, what does imprinting on someone mean? And the definition said, as it's explained in the novels and in the movies, imprinting is something Quillette shapeshifters or werewolves do that basically finds their soulmates. They can't control when it happens or to who, and it can happen at any age. Imprinting on someone is like when you see them, everything changes.
So it's kind of like what Kara said, when you see that person, you just kind of smile and be like, oh, look at that tall glass of water right there.
Yeah, so, like that's the one. Like that's the one. That's the trophy.
You have to beat this person. Even if I'm no longer with this person, this is who you'll be measured by.
Who you'll be measured by. So Tisha did say that they set the tone on what you want in a guy, and so now you know what you don't want. So if he's not opening the door for you, if he's not, every time you go out to dinner, you got to pay for it, then that's not really what you want. So we end up creating our standards, right?
Well, I wouldn't say that was somebody that imprinted on you. To me, in reading the definition and listening to you guys, imprinting to me sounds like the person that's doing all of the right stuff. That's the person that imprints on you. Because again, that's the person that you measure everybody else by, because that person did everything right. Which then, of course, brings up the question, that person did everything right, why y'all not together?
I was just about to say that. Like, what happened?
It's kind of weird in a sense, because it's like, I mean, if you are the perfect person and you're the person by which everybody is measured, why are we not together? I mean, it's almost like a catch-22.
Yeah. It could be the wrong season. Maybe y'all are supposed to get together later. Maybe
you're still really good friends, even though y'all didn't stay together.
How later?
Yeah. But I think, and I've talked to you about this. I believe so. Like, let me take the romance out of it. Okay. When talking about soulmates, I believe that your soulmates are not only someone that you're romantically involved with. They could be your friends, those friends that you meet, and it's just like, I can't live without this person in my life.
Yeah.
You know, like the friends that I have, that's like those are my soulmates. Like they fuel my soul. They are good for my soul. You know, whatever's going on with me. So
that's a good point. Imprinting doesn't always have to be sexual.
Right. It's not sexual.
Yeah. So then I'm wondering, is that imprinting?
I mean, it really could be. Really could be.
It could be.
Because you think about it, even down to your friends, you do. I mean, I know I do. I measure my friends by the people that I'm really the closest to. If you're not holding me down or being my friend like I'm being your friend, or like these people that I know really care about me, I may move differently with you. So I mean, yeah. You know, if I'm not for sure you got my back, I may still be cool with you, but you know what I'm saying? We may not be that kind of close.
Close, right. But you have those friendships where they're just your complete, like, I don't want to say everything, but you know how you have those friends that's been friends for so long.
Yeah.
I would look at those as imprints, and those friends are really hard to have, like, for a long time.
Yeah.
Because I mean, people change, things change.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So I have this I have this question. Jakir, why are you smiling like that? She like, oh, here she goes.
She got a question.
I just got a question. So if this person has done everything right, what could cause that shift to where you are not together? If you feel like, oh, this is like, I'm just totally in love with this person. Notice I said in love, right? And there was even, well, I'll come back to that. But I'm totally in love with this person. So I love this person. I'll do anything for this person. So what happens to where, things get a little rocky? Like, are you not able to work that out? Because there's so many pros, he or she is doing XYZ. I like this, I like that. And then here you are, you're like, oh, okay, I can't be with you anymore. Like, is that little piece our pet peeve, or are we being petty, or, I mean, what's making it?
I think it could be like Kara said. Sometimes it could literally just not be your season. If you've ever broken up with somebody and you guys have been able to sit down and talk about it, and you're like, look, I really love you. I really care about you. This just isn't going to work no matter how hard we try to make it work. For whatever reason, it's just not going to work. You just can't. And I don't know. It could literally be nothing.
So we just
literally be nothing. We lost Carol. She'll probably be back on in a second.
She'll probably give. Okay, so we just breaking up with people because we feel like we can't.
Well, I mean, I really don't know. There have been guys that I've dated, and nothing was wrong. It just, the relationship just didn't work. Like we weren't angry with each other. We weren't getting into it. It just wasn't working.
So for whatever reason. But something is making it not work, right? So if it's just like if I go out here and I start my car don't start. It's a reason it's not starting. So then what's the reason that this relationship is not working? If so like there has to be something that you're not doing. Or
it could be work, it could be school, it could be maybe children, family, any number of things. If something happens to, like, for instance, right now, I'm kind of taking care of my mom. She had major surgery. So if I'm in a relationship, with a man that is used to me giving all of my love and attention to him, there could be some jealousy. You have to, that goes into a whole nother subject, checking and see what his relationship is with his mother.
Yes,
but
Lord.
Right.
It could be any number of things. it can be something very small, and you know, and if it's, but it's one thing my brother told me this years ago, you know, if it's meant to be, it'll come back. And sometimes it'll come back not necessarily with that person, but with someone better.
Okay.
So maybe that is, there wasn't okay. So I want to see how, trying to figure out in my head how I want to say this. So maybe that person did leave an imprint, an impression, and gave you those things that are now part of your standard, and you know what to look for and not to look for in future people you're dating. And when that comes back around, and you have you see you have all of those qualities in that person that you know that you want. These are your, you know, your standards, your requirements, so to speak. And you know, so if it's meant to be, it'll come back around. Maybe not necessarily with that particular person, but it may be someone else.
Maybe with someone else. Yeah. So I'm always messing up a name. Tisha. I'm always messing up. Tisha, pretty eyes. All right. So she said some people want different things in their lives at that moment, and some people love you but don't want to be tied down. Ooh. So
okay, can you read that again?
Yes. Okay, so she said some people want different things in their life at that moment. And she says some people love you but don't want to be tied down. Okay. So maybe because you never know, you know, women mature quicker than men.
Yeah, you know what? That was one of the things I said, the maturity. Sometimes you know, men are not ready for what we're ready for, and vice versa.
We're ready for
like if I'm not there, if that's not my season, you know, of marriage, then you know, there's no amount of anything, you know, someone can say to convince me, let's get married because that's what I want to do right now. So the selfless thing is to be like, hey, you know, I know this is something that you want right now. I don't want to hinder you from getting that. I love you, but I'm gonna back up off of this so that you can get what you want because I'm not there.
Right.
I mean, and you could, you know, sometimes you live to regret that. But you know, that was, you know, I guess you're doing the mature thing. You're doing the selfless thing. You know, the selfish thing to do is to keep that person under your thumb. You know, and expect them to, you know, like one day I'll want it, and then when I want it, you'll be there. That's not fair.
That's not fair.
Okay, I see where you're going with that. I see. Look.
She said Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan. But I mean, if what the reports say are true, that's exactly what that was. It wasn't that they didn't love each other. He was just ready for something that she wasn't ready for at the moment. And I mean, and I definitely think that can happen. That's why I say sometimes you just, you know, stuff just doesn't work. It's not that we don't love each other. It's not that we're not great together. It's just in this moment, for whatever reason, this just isn't gonna work.
It's just not gonna work.
It's not gonna work.
So, you know, with healing, you know, healing comes in different levels. And when I'm gonna say both men and women, we are hurt. You know, some people are able to heal faster than others, and some are not. And so I say all this because while you guys were sharing it, I was thinking about Mr. Reggie. And in that moment, in that season, I was ready, but Reggie wasn't. So because I had been out of a relationship for a minute, but his was kind of still like, I don't want to say fresh, but it was like maybe a year or two old. So it was still kind of, you're still in that phase, you know, I'm trying to venture out and date other people and all this other stuff. And I say that because in my mind, I felt like, well, I'm ready. What's the problem?
What's the
You know,
hold up? Yeah.
and I remember being like that. I'm not gonna lie. I was like that. And I remember telling Reggie, and I'm probably wrong to this day, but that's old news. But I remember telling him, I said, well, we could just be friends, you know. We can
Mm-hmm.
just be friends, and if you need time to go and heal and get yourself together, and then you can come back.
Mm-hmm.
And I did say it kind of just like that, probably a little bit more attitude, but I did say it just like that. And I had him think about it, and he just said, no, I don't want to. I don't want to be friends. And so I felt like, and so when you guys were explaining all this, I felt like I had to, and I had to wait for him to heal to where he felt comfortable enough to trust me,
Yeah.
to where, okay, I know that I'm new to this lady. Let me make sure she's not going to hurt me. Let me trust her a little bit
Mhm.
more, so I can see how that can definitely play a part, because that
Mm-hmm.
healing, if you've been hurt or if something's not working out, or even like like Kara's situation, life issues that are coming
Yeah.
up,
Yeah.
and if that person doesn't want to adjust to the issues because you're dedicating more time to mom instead of dedicating more time to me, you know
Yeah.
that could be a problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, with our standards, do you guys well, let me take it back. Do you remember writing you a list of things that you wanted in a man? Uh-oh. Jakia,
Listen,
don't did you choke
it
over
was a
there?
oh Lord.
She sounded like she choked. Don't be choking. Can't nobody do CPR through the
I think
I'm
I still got my list
Ow.
that I made in high school. It was so shallow. It was truly the list of a high schooler.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Kara, what about you? You still got your list?
Um, so my list, like I don't have it written down anymore. I don't know whatever happened to it, but I
Okay.
can say that it has changed.
That
It
mine
was
has
like,
definitely changed.
probably, yeah, it was probably more like a Walmart list in high school where it was like, I need stuff from produce, I need stuff from frozen food, I need stuff from, you know, the toy department. Like it was,
Right.
it was just kind of all over the place. Oh, he
Yeah.
needs to look like this. Like you said, it was very
It was
shallow.
very shallow. Mine
It was
was
very
very
shallow.
shallow.
And I'm like, huh. But I'll be honest. Now it is still like when I don't pray about it often because I'm not sure if I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
But I mean it's still kind of shallow, in terms of, but they always say to be very specific about, when you're
To
talking
be
to God, be
specific about
very
your
specific
petition in
about
God
what it
for.
is that you
Right.
Yeah.
want.
That you want.
And and one of the first things I have to tell God is, Lord, now he got to be black. I don't want all of these other things, and he show up with
Not wrapped in
any,
chocolate. Got
he
to be
cannot
dipped in
be as
chocolate.
melanated as me, but he got to be.
He got to be at least dipped
A,
in chocolate.
a little
He
bit,
got
a
to
little
be at
bit of
least dipped in
chocolate.
chocolate. And Lord, please let him be taller than me.
Now I'm not
And
gonna lie,
and
taller
see,
than me is one of my things that has transferred from list to list. I can't,
and I find that funny considering that you are just knee high.
whatever.
Did you see that look? She
knee
said,
That's
watch
why.
high.
the
That's why I'm
word.
like, I don't need nobody shorter than me. I'm not very tall. So if you're my height or shorter, like
But
I need a little bit of height.
but
Be
does that
5'10" or something.
but does that eliminate that person because of their height? They may be a pretty cool person just because they 5'6", 5'5", 5'4".
I give a lot. I give leniency to 5'8". I'm 5'7".
Okay.
Yes, I give.
I'm
So it's not
5'5".
necessarily a 6 foot thing, but and I always go back to this. I think for me, height is a big thing because the men in my family are all tall. So I remember being a little girl, and those were like, they were like superheroes to me. So, those things that I was like, okay, I got to have somebody tall, because if he's tall, and this probably sounds very dumb. This is, probably came from my high school list now. That he was going to be able to do all these things. So something that's on my list now that may not have been before is he has to be able to fix things. Like, you got to be able to fix something. Like we can't. I'm kind of like you, Vanilla. Like, I can change my own tire. I can change a lock.
Yeah.
If he has to call a locksmith to change a lock, I'm gonna have an attitude, because you know what? We don't belong together. Because why would you
change the lock? What you call it?
Give me the lock. I'll change it myself.
But wait, you can find any and everything on YouTube that will give you step by step instructions.
Yeah. So anything. I'm pretty sure I can take out an engine watching YouTube. But if you cannot do something with your hands, I think that is one of the most attractive things to me about a man.
Yeah,
I'm looking at his smile, and I'm looking at his hands.
Yes,
and not that if he works in the tech world, or or if he types, there's nothing wrong with it.
No.
If he's kind, if he's sincere, if he's funny, the sense of humor is high on the list. Look, I sound like I'm putting it together like y'all doing a dating page.
Profile.
He has to be funny. That's very important. But but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's not. I started out with that long story saying that maybe it's still kind of superficial, but no, it's probably it's not nearly as superficial as it used to be.
Yeah.
As what it used to be. Yeah. Because when you're in high school, you probably just, I want him to be real tall, and he got to have a six-pack. He got to play basketball or sports. He got to have a nice car,
I wanted mine to have dimples, light brown eyes.
Listen, curly hair. Girl, listen.
I was in high school.
Listen, I don't deal with my own hair. You ain't got to have no hair. Like
it had everything to do with how he looked in high school. Like, I wasn't looking for no substance, nothing. None of that. What do you look like?
What do you look like? Well, that they say beauty is only skin deep, is what they say.
And of course, as a grown up, I've learned that. At John Marshall, I didn't care nothing about that. Is he fine? That's what I was. Is he fine?
He's fine.
He gonna be fine. I want him.
Oh,
so he can have a little eczema. That's fine.
You know what I'm saying? As long as he hit the points on that list,
we can work on that.
We go. Hey, that's fine. I got the cream, baby. Don't worry about it. I got it.
I'm accustomed to eczema. Eczema ain't no thing.
Hey, I got the cream.
You got a little eczema. Let me put a little Crisco on that for you.
Not
good.
Listen. Not the Crisco.
Listen.
I don't know.
The pediatrician told us to put Crisco on my brother.
Really?
Best thing we ever did. Kept his skin nice and moist. Yeah. So that it didn't dry out and making me. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
I ain't never heard it. I thought you was joking. Okay. No. Like, we didn't heard that. We didn't heard something new now. Put Crisco. Well, I mean,
put Crisco on it.
Put Crisco
never heard it. Now don't go outside in this here Oklahoma heat with that Crisco on. You gonna turn into a piece of chicken.
Well, I was about to say, unless you, I'm gonna say just like that, unless you want to be out here smelling like KFC.
You're gonna turn into a piece of chicken. That's happening.
Like, you smell good.
And just use the regular Crisco and the blue.
And not the butter flavor.
Don't use the butter flavor.
Not the butter flavor. Oh, Lord.
Not the butter flavor.
Y'all are hilarious. So she said, I used to think I needed a tall person, but I've been shown differently. So, Kara, you can change up that needing somebody that's real tall and maybe have someone that's about average height.
Yes, I will allow 5'8".
But what if he 5'7.5"?
I will allow 5'8".
Oh. Okay. I guess there's no
Listen.
working around that.
Gotta be this tall to ride this ride.
That's only you got to be. I mean, listen.
But he can't.
I am a porterhouse steak, right? I'm not a little piece of sirloin. I ain't no New York strip. Yes. I'm a full-on porterhouse. So listen, I gotta have somebody that you got to be a certain height and a certain strength to ride this ride. You can't just I will throw. You remember that ride at the amusement park? It was the tornado or whatever, and it drop out. You be up against the wall and people losing their shit. Listen, you'll be flung up against the wall. You won't understand what happened. So it's more so for his safety than my own.
It's for his safety, but you never know. Someone that's 5'7.5", they may be built. You never know. They maybe can handle you and be like, "Honey, child, that amusement ride is nothing compared to this." I'm just saying that I don't know this person. I'm just speaking in
God knows. My Adam. I'm the rib walking around. His side has just been aching all these years.
Okay.
He is of a certain height.
Okay.
He is of a certain complexion. Got just the right amount of melanin. Has a beautiful smile. Incredible sense of humor. He got everything where it's supposed to be in the size it's supposed to be.
Oh,
because God knows He knows what is good for me.
The desires of your heart, huh?
The desires of my heart. He knows.
Right.
And the scary thing about that is, people forget that, the devil was an angel too, so he know them same desires. So you got to be careful.
Yes, gotta be careful.
Yes, he does.
Gotta be careful.
Because he'll send somebody. That's why. Oh, come on, we're getting right back to it. That's why you take those impressions, that imprint with those things you like, and you say, well, wait a minute, because you look like everything I want, but you're not giving me all of these qualities that God put in this person before. So I know that He didn't send you. Who sent for you? Don't come for me if I didn't send you. He didn't send you.
So
I keep saying I should really be a pastor. I think,
Oh, okay. Okay, you can't fix your face. So I have a question. I have a question. Wait, it didn't almost left me. Oh, darn it! It'll come back to me. It'll come back. You threw me off when you said pastor. I mean, to each his own. I mean, if that's what you.
Hey, if Sister Patrice can be one.
Don't you do that?
Okay.
I don't even know who that person is, but
do you go down in the valley, Vernelia?
Oh, you talk about P-Valley. Wait, this show about to turn a little. No, let me stop.
Where the blessings reside.
Letitia say, come through there, Pastor Washington.
Right.
Where the blessings reside.
Y'all are a mess. Oh my gosh. Oh, here it is. It came back to me now. So when you go on your first date, well, I'm not gonna say your first date, maybe second or third. I'm hearing that some men are saying that, they always comparing themselves to that other guy. Well, what's the name used to do this for me because I was impressed by how he did this and how he did that. Like, do you guys really bring that up during dating?
I think this is going to sound terrible and I don't mean it to. You a fool if you do. You know what I'm saying? Now thinking it, you're automatically gonna think it with that person that imprinted on you. Okay, well, he measure up to this person. But if you actually let it come out your mouth, you need to pay for your own dinner and catch you an Uber home. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I'm just listening. You shouldn't be out dating, period.
Right. I mean, because you can't adequately get to know me if you keep telling me about what she did.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because at some point I'm gonna be mad.
On the person.
And I'm just gonna stop talking and I'm gonna be like, well, do you want me to call her so she can join you? Because clearly you're not interested in me.
You're not interested, yeah.
So think it, don't say it.
Think it, but don't say it.
Don't say it.
That's a good point. Think it, don't say it. Keep it to yourself. Yeah. Definitely don't post it on social media, especially if he following you or she following you. Because that will mess up the whole date. Your whole courtmanship, I guess. Yeah. Boy, this impressions. All right. Well,
imprinting impressions.
But that's why they say your first impression is everything. You know, so if you going out on a date with someone, like I've been hearing about this Tinder deal, and people showing up on their Tinder, you know, after they met somebody on Tinder and they show up in real person, and they're like, "This is not how you look on. This is."
They're getting catfished off of Tinder.
You look different.
or
you look shorter.
2022.
Right,
it's not. Right. It's really not.
Right, you shorter than 5'8". All right.
Just say it. You know, and I'm still surprised to this day that the catfish guy, I mess up his name, but you know the TV show man,
Neve or something like that. Yeah,
that's it. That he is still in existence because there's people still catfishing, as well as technology has evolved. Like you can take a picture and pull it anywhere and it'll show you who it belongs to or something like that. But I'm like, y'all still out here catfishing people? Like at some point, and I can get it, they talking to each other.
Tisha say been there.
She been there. You been catfished before?
Been catfished.
Girl.
I just, tell the truth. I mean, listen, where I work at part-time would make you a believer that there is literally somebody for everybody. Because some of them couples that slide through them doors.
How'd that happen?
You said it's somebody for somebody.
It is somebody for everybody. Some of them folk that walk through them doors, I'll be like, now how in the world did that happen? You ain't got to lie. There's literally somebody for everybody. I've seen it with my own eyes. I'm telling you the truth.
True. That's true.
Right hand to God. There is somebody for everybody. You don't have to lie about who you are, baby. You're going to be able to find somebody. I promise you. I done seen it firsthand. Like, okay.
Each to his own.
Listen, but can we cuss, or is cussing not allowed? I wanted to ask first.
Well, I mean, Pastor Washington. I mean, I don't know if you.
I'm not. Hey, the cussing passed the cuss. I'm just, I just wanted to make sure.
You're fine. I could just put a little thing on there if you're gonna get explicit.
Say one of them not real cuss words, as my mama calls them.
Okay. I'll say. I was just curious, because I when you were saying it, I was just sitting up thinking, my petty ASS always thinks he needs a place to stay.
And I mean, that could be the case. Okay. But you ain't got to lie. If he need a place to stay and you got a place to stay, tell him what you look like. He don't care. He homeless.
Hey, listen, you said, and I forgot about this. You said you got catfished. I got catfished during the AOL days.
Girl.
Yes, back when you could get the free CD out of Walmart and just go and use it, and then instead of paying for the service, you just go get another free CD, and you just kept it going. And he flew to Oklahoma City from California.
What?
And when I saw him, I said, I know you effing lying. I know you lying.
What? Okay, hold on. You're going too fast. So what? So evidently you saw a picture of him back in the AOL days?
Yes, he had pictures posted.
Okay.
And now, I had all of my, I've always used my own pictures. and he had pictures posted, and I was like, okay, we would talk on the phone, and God, this was like I'm trying to think if this was before I had my daughter. So let me say this was like I don't want to lie, 2000, 2001, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when AOL was popping.
And chat rooms, boy. Tell nobody nothing about the chat rooms.
Yes, the creation of PM, aka DM.
Right.
IM.
Okay.
And we would talk. And he's like, well, I'm flying out. Okay, cool. I'll help you find a room. And my homegirl just so happened to work at like Holiday Inn or something. So she's like, well, I can get you, get you rooms for like $30 a night. Bet. Hey, I found somebody that got your rooms. Okay, I'm gonna fly in. I get to the airport. The first person, I'm looking for the picture. I pull up and I see this guy come out, and I'm like, oh, okay, this must be him. It's not him. So then I'm looking at this other guy, and he walks up to the car, and I'm like,
what you doing?
Let me say this real quick. So let me throw this way out. Big women are not desperate. Never been a desperate bitch ever a day in my life.
Facts.
So I had standards even back. I've always had standards. And he was not up to my standard. And I said, well, you see, God knocked my earring out. He don't like where this is going. But because my mama raised me the way she did, I took him to his hotel room. I was pissed. My nostrils were flared. I took him and I left him for the days he was here. Because you got me effed up. Because why would you do that?
Wait. Hold up. Pause. What?
Why would you do that? So now knowing that there was a whole show created about stuff like this, I should have been on that back in 2000, whatever year this was. I could have had the show. You could have had the show.
You could have had that show. But wait a minute. So what was so different from what he said he looked like and what you saw by the pictures, and then based on in real life? Was he not even halfway cute?
So about
a different picture? Or?
I'll say he was about 6 to 8 inches shorter, and about 2 to 250 more.
Oh,
log
okay.
out.
Well,
log out.
Did you say log off?
Log off.
And I'm like, like my God.
On your ride to the hotel, did you not say, "Hey, bro, like, is that your cousin?"
I was mad. My nostrils were like this. I was just trying to hurry up. I was speeding. I was hoping I would get pulled over. I was hoping I would crash. I was so upset. I was just trying to get him. And then the room was on my side of town, on the north side, because I was making sure he was going to be close to the house.
Right.
Because I had a baby. So I got to go all the way to the airport on the south side, pick him up, and then got to ride speed all the way to the north because I'm pissed.
Did you take him back to the airport when it was time for him to go home?
I don't know if he ever made it home. That was no longer my concern.
That man probably still there to this day waiting on you.
I'm originally from California. How you end up in Oklahoma, man?
I was waiting on this girl.
Long story.
Wait, so I know he called you, beeped you, something.
He called, and let me go. I went back up there one time, and we had the discussion. He said, you know, I don't know if he didn't think I was gonna like him. I wasn't gonna like you, but I'm not a rude person. Oh, every time, like thinking back on that, and maybe it was 2002. Because I'm thinking about what I had going on in 2000, 2001, whatever it was at the height of AOL, because that's how we met, with his fake pictures.
Oh, Lord.
Cat fished my ass, and I'm mad to this day.
I see. It's 2022, and you still mad. I mean,
because how dare you?
How
dare you?
How dare you?
I've never catfished anyone.
But you know what? This is a good conversation for our next segment. You know,
except for my hair, but that's you know, but that doesn't count.
Except for your hair.
Says she only catfished
like
with her hair.
You know, like if we had, you know, if I had weave in or something, but that don't count. Everything else is the same.
I don't think that's catfishing, though.
I don't either.
Yes, there's your hair. I mean, nowadays, I know you've seen it on social media. The men, they can get the weave glued in and shaved down.
I mean, the women change their hairstyles. That's what we do as women. We don't wear our hair the same way all the time, especially black women.
Catfishing. I think catfishing is when I look this way.
Now, catfishing would be if I had Beyonce's picture up and I told y'all that was me.
Right.
But y'all look just alike, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because we look exactly like we could be twins.
Right.
Look better than, hey, Matthew might be your daddy.
Oh, Lord. I'm not.
You know, I don't think my mama would have went for Matthew.
You know, right?
My mama's type.
You're right. You're absolutely right. She'd add to customer.
I think this is a good lead up to our next segment, because we were talking about, like, when you go out on a date, having that self-confidence about yourself. Mm-hmm. And so if people are feeling like they have to put up this profile to try to get up so many likes or to get so many hits of people who are interested, you know, and it's really not the real person. Yeah. That, to me, I always felt like that's a self-confidence issue. Like, you're not really comfortable with who you are. Because even with them shows, once they find the man or the woman or whatever, I'm like, so what's wrong with you? Like, you look fine. You're not a bad looking person. And I don't know. I think to me, I feel like you're setting yourself up for failure. Because how do you expect this long distance relationship to work to where you think after years and years, some people, they've been talking for like 2 years, and you have never seen each other? Girl, please. I wish, and Reggie and I started on the social media dating, but honey, I expected to see what I expected to see.
Sadly, to see you within 14 days. 7 really.
And to be honest, I don't know if he looked different than the picture, would I have been disappointed or not? I'm not for sure. I probably would have been like, okay, why you look different? You know what I mean? Like, I probably would have asked that question. But I think that since I've already developed that friendship, you know, that starting of that friendship with you, I probably would have just said, okay, let me see where this gonna go.
That's what Otisha just said. She said they're hoping you fall in love with their personalities and bypass their looks.
Nope, I'm visual. Ain't that what dudes say? I'm visual. Nope.
You got to show me a good time. Don't tell me about it. Don't tell me about a good time, brother. Show me.
Show me. Oh my goodness.
Your followers are gonna hate me. They'll be like, she got her nerve. And I do. And I do.
It's okay. Everybody has their own standards of what they want. So there's nothing wrong with you having your standards.
Nothing wrong with standards.
But I think this is a good lead up for our next little segment. Kara, I do appreciate you coming on here chit-chatting with us.
Anytime.
It's been fun. It's been
time.
Yes, we'll have to bring you on back into the fold. You know, we talk about a lot of stuff on this podcast over here. You know, Kia keeps me on my toes at times, and you know, we ask all these questions that get your mind turning. So, and we're gonna have to bring Pretty Eyes.
I know I talk all the time. I always got something to say. It's always be random stuff on my mind.
Just random.
You know,
like puzzles.
Puzzles. You got puzzles on your mind?
I'll tell you about that off air, Vanilla.
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
we got to think about Kara.
Something
Scratch Kara off the guest
puzzles,
list,
y'all. I mean,
no, Vanilla.
Vanilla. Oh, don't do. Oh, okay. And
Vanilla, that is exactly why I'm not where I'm supposed to be right now because of how Jakia acts. Because I would be also going to Indiana, but that's Jakia's fault.
Okay, we're not having this discussion right now. They about to change the subject, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it right on up because these two right here, it'll be a whole nother hour, and we'll be like, "What? How do we change the subject?" Anyway, so I just want to say thank you again for coming on Share the Tea Tuesdays. Hey guys, don't forget to follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I'm on everything except for the snap of the chat. And so I appreciate your follows, like, and share. And until then, stay tuned for Share the Tea Tuesdays, and we'll see you next week. Holla!